Yo! Video games.
What up, dudes? Matt here from YoVideogames, and I'm here to talk about the Donkey Kong Bananza Direct, which went live this morning of this recording. And yeah, we finally got our big deep dive into the game, and one of the mysteries slash leaks from Nintendo of Korea's website was pretty much revealed right away. Kind of glad they didn't decide to like hold that secret off for too much longer or whatever. And that is, yeah, Oddrock is Pauline, or some child version of Pauline for some reason. It's a little strange just because I don't know how this is supposed to... Is this supposed to be like the original character? Which makes things a little weird since, you know, Donkey Kong 1, like DK kidnaps Pauline from Mario and Mario has to go save her. So I'm not really sure what we're doing there. I don't really mind too much, whatever. I doubt it's supposed to be the same character. Anyways, like, why am I talking about lore in a Donkey Kong game, for God's sake? Either way, though, my first initial thought, though, is straight up, like, why the fuck didn't we launch with this game on the Switch, too? That's kind of like my big initial reaction. It was like, why are we waiting a month and a half for this game? This should have been the launch title. This actually feels like the big massive adventure game, which is funny because it's technically cheaper than Mario Kart World, but whatever. Yeah, like we got like basically a rundown of what we kind of already knew, what we saw at the treehouse. So there was a lot of sort of like repeat information there, but this time it's done in a nice, you know, chunky, you know, like nice compact 17-minute thing, so we don't have to like, you know, watch someone play it and explain it as they kind of go and whatever. And we have, you know, all the, you know, the stuff that comes with that, with treehouse stuff. But anyways, yeah, it definitely looks like the Odyssey team. I don't know if it's actually been stated. I'm pretty sure Nintendo's probably going to hide this until launch, but it's like, this is the Odyssey team. Let's stop kidding ourselves. We know this is the Mario Odyssey team. There's no way it's not. Everything about the Odyssey team is basically here, and like it's just screaming at it. Yeah. But again, we got to see some new moves and stuff. We got to see like the double jump mechanic with when grabbing terrain. We got to see, like, again, more how this game really is just sort of the Hulk ultimate destruction of 3D platformers. You know, it just with everything you can do, with the way you can like surf on stuff and just sort of like the smashing stuff around. I don't know. It looks like a ton of fun to me. It also doesn't look like it's going to be too much of a problem. Like, it definitely feels the levels are designed for platforming and platforming challenges. It's not a game that's just sort of like dig your way in and out of everything, which I'm glad to see. You know, I think it looks really good. We also got to kind of get like a weird sort of confirmation of that you're not gonna just be like doing the same kind of thing over and over. You unlock certain things because they have like these weird, creepy looking elder gods of underground, which that might be a little bit like silly in a way, where it's like, okay, what's like the Kong Lovecraftian lore here of these giant elder gods living deep underground, you know, that we awaken. But what it does do is definitely is going to send the fan art community into a tizzy, and Donkey Kong can transform into big beefy versions of other animals. Like, he can be like just a bigger, beefier, big ass version of himself. He could turn to a zebra or an ostrich and shit eggs on people, and then you can combine them at the same time. It's basically like his power up meter. So it's like, okay, this is like your literally Kong has a devil trigger mode or a Kong trigger. And we got a little look at the enemies, and again, this is why I think it's the Odyssey team, because EPD8/Nintendo Tokyo, the last time they did a Donkey Kong game, they made the villains a bunch of evil Kongs. And here we are again, the enemies of the game are evil Kongs. So, again, there's no way you can't convince me this is not a Nintendo Tokyo game. Interesting thing about the game a little bit is that Pauline speaks full English, like she's fully voice acted. And then all the elder gods and the enemies, they speak this sort of like Panzer Dragoonish, like gibberish language. Not like Banjo-Kazooie, but like closer to something like Panzer Dragoon, which is odd. An interesting choice. But I also am glad to see that it's not entirely just like, okay, well, we're Nintendo, we don't like spending money, so let's not voice act anything. There is influence definitely, though, from the Zelda series as well, because yeah, we saw that there's shrines in the game. Although unlike Zelda, these shrines actually look interesting because we got like minecart levels, barrel blast levels, and we got like interesting use of mechanics stuff that like references like Wrecking Crew in the original DK. So yeah, that's pretty cool there. Glad to see that, not only do we get shrines, which Odyssey had a similar-ish mechanic sometimes with some of the hidden doors. We also see Kong has a skill tree, which is interesting. A lot of the skills are really just like getting bigger, better versions of, things like, Sonar Clap or like Life or whatever. But like you also apparently will unlock actual extra skills in the skill tree. And again, just like Odyssey, there's a multi economy system in the game, and then the shops look like they're ripped straight out of the Odyssey UI. So. Yeah, and there's a fashion thing. You can give Kong different. It looks like it's most. This is the one thing I was a little, I don't know, disappointed, or maybe just sort of, I don't know. Kong looks like he just has overalls in different colors, so it's interesting. Yeah, you can make like the different Smash Brother versions, like Silver Kong or Yellow Kong or Blue Kong or whatever. But it looks like his overalls just kind of like change the pattern on them. I'm wondering if there's actually anything beyond overalls, or you can just go at it naked. It almost seems like you'll probably see more clothing options for Pauline, but yeah, I mean, we definitely saw a lot going on in here. And I don't want to get too bogged down in just like regurgitating the stuff we already, you all can see for yourself. But one thing I was very happy to see, I was happy to hear a lot of classic DK tunes from David Wise in there, and then even to the DK rap being remixed in here from Grant Kirkhope. So, yeah, that was kind of cool to see that we're actually going to have. Not only do we get like because Pauline's got like she's a Disney princess, like she sings literal Disney princess sounding song, at least in the trailer, at least a couple of them. It might be the same song or with different parts, or it might be multiple songs. But it's like she's got like this crazy or this very Disney princess song thing going on. And then we have like the original classics with David Wise, Grant Kirkhope, and then we heard from the Treehouse. We actually heard something that sounded way more like Odyssey. So this game's actually going to be a bit of a musical venture, and then you're going to be able to collect discs, all those like old Smash Brothers, and you're going to be able to listen to them when you set up a little home in a level somewhere. So that's pretty cool. Then again, reiterating, why wasn't this a launch game? Because Mario 64 had that whole play with Mario's face on the beginning, and now they have a whole sculptor mode in this game. With the mouse function of the Switch 2 controller. So it's kind of like, holy crap, like that's pretty cool. Like, we're going to immediately get it. We're going to expand. We're going to carve a dong real soon. With the sort of sculpting mode, like this just sort of like on its own, using the Joy-Con 2 as a mouse. Like this is just a fucking fun, cool idea. Like this is all just, I'm very happy just to see, just a creative explosion, because it's not just, okay, we just kind of stick Kong in a bunch of levels with a bunch of dirt and he just digs through them and that's the game. I mean, that is a large part of the game, but we saw races with Diddy and Dixie on Rambi. We saw like all these little sculpting modes. We saw like, you may have a home and you can collect stuff to play in your little makeshift home away from homes and stuff. So this is turning into quite the video game. I'm very, very pleased with what I'm seeing so far. It's a little bit hesitant when like we first saw, because I was like, oh man, this is not a 2D Kong game. And then even last time Nintendo Tokyo did a Kong game, it was Jungle Beat, and it was cool, but it wasn't like Retro or Rare's efforts. It was all right. It kind of was like really heavily dependent on its bongo gimmick. But this looks like a fully featured game. I hope, if anything, like the people who are like, oh, well, where's the real 3D Mario? And it's like, bro, I think this is absolutely like an Odyssey scale game. And I think it looks, dare I say it looks just as good as Odyssey. I could even see a world where this is actually more fun than Odyssey, just because it's different with its crazy mechanics of like punching and digging and chucking rocks and using rocks to smash things up. And who knows? Who knows? And again, it is Nintendo Tokyo, so I expect the story will actually be have a little more going for it than just like, yeah, you did it, hooray, fireworks, the end. Because they always do it. They always have a little. They always add a little extra, with Mario Galaxy, Mario Odyssey. Kind of great just to see like Kong get like a similar treatment now too. But yeah, this is looking hot. Like this. Is this looking like Game of the Year material? Maybe. We'll see how it all shakes out. Like we can kind of guesstimate, from what we're seeing in this direct, like how many levels there might actually be, how many collectibles there might be per level, which, spoiler, it's a lot. But we'll see in the end, like overall, like how much it is. Like, is it an Odyssey sized game? Which again, Odyssey only took like 5.5, 6 hours to get to credits, and then there was like double that time for all the extra stuff. So even then, Odyssey wasn't like a huge game. It probably took you about like 20 to 30 hours to 100% everything in Odyssey. So even if it's 20, 30 hours of DK Bananza, I think it's probably just fine. It's really just more about like, does the level design hold up? Is it fun? Is everything kind of keep momentum, as it were, as you keep going down and down further into the different layers of the Earth to reach the planet core. So yeah, I'm liking everything I'm seeing. I know, yeah, it's getting amiibo support, which is okay, whatever. There's a new Donkey Kong amiibo. I will not be making a Venom joke there. Sorry. But yeah, this is looking like the game I feel Nintendo should have launched the system with, and less, because Mario Kart World is fine, but it's leaving me somewhat underwhelmed because it's good, but I don't know. It's more Mario Kart. There's a Mario Kart with 94 courses on the Switch 1. And I don't know, 30 dropping to 32 with this overworld mechanic that's okay. I don't know. Anyway, this is more my speed. So, yeah, looking forward to this game a lot. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you on the channel. Later, dudes.